Oh, get out of this rain. Hello, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'd like to talk to you about this, my 2003 Fiat Seicento. Now, it's a car that I bought in November time to see me through Christmas and the New Year whilst doing an engine shop on my own car, my Allegro George. That work is now done, but I'm going to keep hold of this car, and in this video I'm going to explain why. So, this is well, it's one of the later ones, being in 2003. This car was introduced to replace the Seicento in 1997 and was quite a popular car. They produced this up to about 2005. So this is the 1.1 litre version. I forget what the horsepower is now. I'll put a little thing up on the screen for you. But it returns at least 45 to 50 to the gallon on a good run. Certainly I've had pretty good fuel economy out of this car. But the weather is absolutely appalling today. Sorry about the noise in the cabin. I have to have the heater on as well. So on a run, this car does fairly good fuel economy. And this has been the default daily. I've just been putting the miles on this car, not washing it as perhaps as often as I do my other cars, but it has just been a workhorse. So I didn't plan to have this car for more than a few months, but I've actually become quite attached to it. It's such a good little car. It does exactly what I wanted to do, and there's no frills, bells or whistles. It is just a basic bit of transport. It's got a heater, it's got electric front windows, decent visibility all around. The pillars are quite thin. The seats are fairly comfortable actually for a small car. So on the 9th of March, this car and I are going to be going up to the British Motor Museum in Gaydon for Rustival. It's a YouTube gathering and massive car event. Any vehicle is welcome. And like I said in my last video, there's going to be plenty of YouTubers there, including Ian and Carly from Havnat, Matt from Furious Driving, and Steph from I Drive a Classic, to name but a few. Really looking forward to that. And that'll be a good road test, because I've only done local miles in this car so far. But we may give it a service before I do any miles in this. Yeah, I might do an oil change before I leave, but touch wood, it's been absolutely brilliant. So what do I like about this car? Visibility is excellent all around. All the pillars are quite thin, so you've got decent. Oh, and the turning circles are immense. I just did a U-turn in the street back there, which is quite a narrow road, and it just breezed it, which is lovely. It has got power steering. Some models came with aircon, this one doesn't. I think the Sporting had a few more optional extras on it, but this one doesn't. I forget the spec of this car now. Again, I think it's an LX, this one, or SX. What don't I like about it? It's not the prettiest looking thing, but it's quite noisy, being such a thin car. When I say thin, I mean the metal is thin. There's not a lot of great sound insulation. You can hear everything in the engine bay. The gear change is horrendous. It's cable operated. I think the cable is a bit stretched because it's getting quite notchy changing gear, but that's something that can be remedied. That's not a dislike, that's just the way this particular car is. Let's open the windows because I'm steaming up, guys. Not crashy, that's the wrong word, but it's a bit firm. It's not wallowy like you'd expect with a bigger vehicle like a BMW, say, or Mercedes. You know you're in a small car. Handling is good, it's responsive. It's quite nippy off the mark. Don't get me wrong, it's only a 1.1 litre, but it pulls away fairly quickly. So servicing wise, I've not had to do much to this car at all. Let's close the window. I did have the cam belt done when I bought the vehicle because there's no history with this vehicle whatsoever other than old MOTs. And on inspection, I'm glad we did that because it was in pretty poor condition. It had started to delaminate, there was cracks in the belt. Actually, I'll put a picture up now. That was well worth doing. We just caught that in the nick of time. Other than that, I've topped up the coolant and the oils, and touch wood, it's been absolutely brilliant. So, would I recommend one of these to anybody looking to buy a small car? Absolutely. The only downside is, and this is another negative, the tax is about £200 a year because the government want all small cars of this sort of age off the road. So I did have to pay quite a bit in road tax. Daft, I know. But that's the only real negative, really, the road tax. It's not, although it's a 1 litre, producing tiny amount of emissions, the government are like, nah, we don't want it on the road anymore, we'd rather you drive electrics. Oh, Marful Polo. So I'm going to go and get some petrol and then head home for a cup of tea, I think, because the weather is absolutely miserable. Yeah, just a quick one today. I wanted to do a video on this car for a few weeks now, and I've just not had the time because I've been working on engine swaps and going to car shows. Thank you for watching. See you soon. More traffic lights. It is miserable. And now my petrol lights come on. Goodbye.